Hey guys, how's it going? Been out doing a little bit of yard sailing, trying to not do too many of them this year because of all the crap I've been dragging home. But went out today, got a few things. Got a big box of bungee cords, the black ones. Probably about 30 or 40 of them in there for $5. Grabbed a Johnsard chainsaw. Johnsard's a good name, good saw. But this one is going to need some love. You could tell it's been sitting forever. You smell the gas, you could tell it's going to need a tear down and clean in some love. So we should make a good will it run video on that. But you guys aren't really here to see that, are you? Here to see what was in the thumbnail. Alright, so this was a yard sale I almost didn't go to. It was the end of the driveway was blocked off, and then you actually couldn't see the house from where it was, so you had to walk in quite a bit. But when I walked in the garage, there was a jet ski with a for sale sign on it. So of course I was curious, and the for sale sign had $500 on it. And the wife was home, the husband wasn't. I started asking some questions. She really couldn't tell, and she got her husband on the phone, and he continued to tell me what the issue was. The last time he rode it, it started taking on some water in the engine bay, and the water was hot, generally alluding to probably the manifold leaking. It was cooling water from the engine, not water from the drivetrain just coming in, or the tub having a leak in it. So he says, I really want to get it out of my garage. And I said, okay. And he said, make me an offer. I made an offer at $350. He said, how about $400? And I said, okay. So I own it for $400. Chainsaw was $5, in case anybody wants to really care about that. Why don't you give me a second, I'll pop the covers off, we'll take a peek underneath. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. I do have a place we can run it, which is good. That's the reason why I bought it. So that looks like more of a cooler. That should get us into the engine. Hold on. It's a twin. Not sure what the output of this is. And there's the battery, and then there's the battery's junk. So I would think possibly exhaust issues is what I'm thinking. Let me know what size it is. What engine is it? $951. 1000 cc. It's pretty big. I thought it was going to be much smaller than that. Cool. It's a 1999. Trail's a 99 also. Again, I figured, and he quickly looked into it. He said he thought the manifolds can cost about $700, another $300 to get it replaced, plus a battery. So he was looking at, you know, $1,100 just to kind of get it up and running again. So he didn't put the time or the effort or the money into it. I figure we could give it a shot. We'll make a video, maybe not this year because it's already late in the season, but maybe next year we'll tear into it and see if we can fix it. If not, the trailer's almost worth that. The trailer's probably worth $300, and we could. I'm sure we can get $100 for the carcass, worst case scenario, right? We could have fun making some videos. He said it'd run for about a half hour, take about 2 gallons of water on, and he goes, then I pump that out, and then he ran it for another half hour, did about the same thing. So, I don't know if it has a built-in bilge pump yet. I think it's just the ones that you put it on a trailer and you drain it through those. He has the registration. It's local. Where I bought it was local. I have bill of sales for it, waiting on a registration. Trailer doesn't matter. In New Hampshire, we can anything older than 2000, you just write a bill of sale on the trailer, and they could do a transfer. But as far as the machine itself, he has a registration. He wasn't home. I kind of bought it from his wife. I still have his plate that he allowed me to get home with, and we're going to do a swap for those two items later in the week. But I think it looks pretty good. I think that should have some fun on it. I think it's a 2-passenger, not a 3. I'm not sure of that yet. Seems to have a fair amount of seat. I think that opens up too. There we go. I would think he would have kept the registration inside it, you know? Might be in it. Fire extinguisher. Not quite sure what that is, an intake. Yeah, I'd say it's an intake. So how's that for a score? I think I did pretty good. Even if we take the manifold out and we have to get another one, I think we could probably repair it. And again, worst case scenario, if it has only a slight amount of leak, I'll put a bilge pump in it. We'll just run it with a bilge pump and turn the switch on every 15 minutes or set up with a float and use it as is. Alright guys, this is a little quickie, so we're going to do a little show and tell. Show what I found, and hopefully we'll be making some videos on this one. Pretty psyched to get out in the water and give her a shakedown run. Alright, thanks guys, I'll see you later. Alright, I couldn't resist. You know I couldn't. Threw a battery charger on it about a minute ago and put the key in it. Wanted to see what we have for hours. I'm not quite sure how we work. This direction. There it goes. Odometer, miles per hour. I don't know what that means. Something 15. Hours. 151.4. That's not bad at all. Excellent. We'll let that charge up for a while, and I need to get some apparatus to feed water into this. I don't think it's like the ears that you put on a boat on the outdrive. It's probably a different setup. It might even be built into it. It might be able to hook a hose to it somewhere. And then again, maybe not. So, still have to do homework. Go on the old internet and start getting educated on stuff. We'll see if that battery can kind of come back. Alright, it's been sitting for about 3 or 4 hours. The charger on it. Let's see if it makes brum brum noises. I don't know if we have to put the key back in and out again. Alright. What's it say? It says direction. What does beeping mean? Safety's in. There it goes. Battery's just toasted though. I'll let that charge up overnight. See what happens. Hey guys, it's probably about 24 hours later. We've had the battery on a trickle. What was that thing put out? 6 amps? Yeah, 6 amps. But it's been on there for about 24 hours. I kind of doubt that battery's going to come back, but let's just see if it does anything. Let's go look at the engine instead. Kinda, no. At least it's cranking over. That's a good sign. We know it's not locked up. Let's grab a jumper pack and see if we can get a jumper pack on that battery, and we'll see if it has enough spin with that. If that's the case, I did a little bit of homework last night, and I think there's a hose plug-in, yeah, right here. Is that it? I feel threads. That may or may not be it. It's back in there somewhere. I'm gonna go with that one. I think that's it right there. So get that battery jumper pack on there and see if it spins it halfway decent, and if so, we'll see if we can get it to start. Just waiting to go for a ride, aren't you? You're a little early. You gotta get your swimsuit too. Yeah. Wanna go swimming? Wanna go for a ride? Yeah? No? Get your bathing suit. All right, I got the Mac Pack jumper pack on there. Let's go give her another shot. I don't want to start yet. I don't got water hooked up. I'm going to yank the thing off. Just want to make sure we go. Yeah, that should do it. Let's pull the trailer up, see if we can get a hose on it, and then we'll try it. All right, I guess we got water going through it. Down by the piss trail. Let's give her a crank. It's got a choke too. I don't know how much gas is in it, just put it on reserve. I already see the leak. It's up top. Because you can right at the gasket right there. Well, that makes it easy. Hopefully that's all it is. That's a hair, it's not a crack. Is that a snapped off bolt right there? Well, there's your problem. Broke a bolt and it's not tight. Imagine that. All right. Well, we know what the leak is. Let's see if we can get it to fire up though. It sounded like that battery pack wasn't having it. Not gonna do anything without juice. Jumper pack's dead. I'm wondering if water is getting into the cylinder and it's hydro locking. So I'm going to pull the two plugs on it, we'll spin it over and see if that's possibly the case. Maybe water's leaking around somewhere where it shouldn't be going in through the exhaust and into the cylinder. I got those two plugs out. Let's go give her a quick little bump and see if it shoots any water out. Oh yeah, there's the problem. It's hydro locking on that cylinder. Hopefully you don't kill a rod doing that. And the other problem is we don't know. Let's go take the jumper pack off so it's weak. And it's not cranking over all the way, you know what I mean? Slower. And of course it doesn't have enough power to yeah, both cylinders. Jesus. Gotta get you out of harm's way, huh? Jeez. A little water. There we go. So I guess on top there where that bolt is broken, I wonder if it's one of two things. Either somebody took it apart, was trying to take it apart, broke the stud off and just gave up at that point, and it already had another problem, or that just broke off, they weren't aware of it, and I don't know if it's got like an inner and an outer. Here's the exhaust, and then it's got like a cooling jacket around it, and now it's just flowing right into the exhaust manifold. That's what I think is happening for that part of it. If we fix the broken bolt, I think it'll run, but I still think we're going to have a problem with, we may have a problem with the leak somewhere else. So let's go kind of, at least I want to get all the water out of there and throw some oil in there. I was definitely leery about doing that. The last thing I want to do is bend a rod, you know, or get a hydro lock like that, but we'll see. I'm gonna let's go throw a little bit of oil in it. Just keep swapping sides. I have a feeling he tried taking it apart. I bet you it has another issue somewhere else. He tried taking it out and tried bailing on it, because there's no way it ran with that kind of situation. I bet you he started to take the manifold off, broke a bolt, and then went, you know what? I hate this thing. I'm moving on. Alright, let's go. Alright, I'm going to go throw the plugs back in, and we're not going to put water in it, obviously, and we'll just go see if it fires. I know it's not a great thing to do, but I just want to see if this thing will run and not knock. All right, let's see what we got. One more time and let it cool off. I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes and we'll go give it another shot. While we're letting it cool down, you will probably be a good answer to figure out if that broke on somebody and they stopped, or if it just broke off. Let's see. If we put a pair of vice grips on that and that's able to turn out, then we know it wasn't, you know, seized in there and broke. But if we go to try to turn that and it doesn't want to turn, then we know that possibly somebody put a wrench on that and did it. She knows she's not going for a ride now. Look at her, all bumming. Hopefully you can see, you're just kind of wedged in the engine compartment on the other side. I know my hands are going to be in your way, but yeah, I'd say somebody broke that off. So I'm going with my first my first instinct that they had a leak, went to go take the manifold off and look into it, and broke the bolt off and said forget about it, or they were putting it back in and they broke the bolt off and said forget about it, because it is stainless going into aluminum, and those dissimilar metals like to do that powdery kind of stuff. You know, either way, we're gonna have to get the manifold off to go fix that. But let's go see if we'll fire it up and run and just kind of sound okay. Again, I know it's definitely not ideal to run it with no water, but in this situation, I think we're going to go move forward with that. Plus, I want it to run and get a little bit of heat, just push whatever moisture is out of those cylinders. I don't want to leave it like we had it with the water sitting, you know, in the cylinders. That's not going to be very good for rust situations. So let me get you set up in the stand. All right, it's party time again. I'm trying to work everything at the same time. That all of a sudden sounded different, didn't it? One more time, we're done. Again, we'll let it cool down for a few minutes, and I'll poke around and we'll try it again. Should go. It sounded like it wants to go. I think the sound difference was it probably had water in the manifold, and we just pushed that water out of the manifold, and you were able to hear the exhaust a little different. I just heard it sound, and you guys might have heard it too. So while I was waiting, I tried getting a nut to start on there and see if that would help us crush back down on that, but it wasn't having it. Probably didn't help that I gummed up the threads with the vice grips, but either way it would have to come out. And I'm not sure if it's metric or standard. It's a made in Canada machine, and I'm not quite sure the hardware. I thought it was a standard, but it could be either way. All right, it's in I don't know, about 5-10 minutes. Cool down enough. Let's go give it another shot, see what we get. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. teasing us the whole way. Yeah, a little bit more. I gave it a little bit of gas. Right. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit. It's just like right on the verge. It ran. It didn't sound anything clacky. I don't know what I can hurt as far as you know, running stuff dry. I guess if we get it fired up, we could probably turn the water on, maybe. What's your thoughts on that? Because it'll have pressure kind of pushing out. I don't know if that thing spins all the time. It's got a forward, neutral, and reverse. I know reverse, usually they kind of, the scoop kind of runs back across it. Let's go see. That's reverse. Should be neutral. Yeah, it just blocks off the flow, so it pumps all the time. I was kind of hoping we could pop it in neutral and not have that stuff spin, you know, but that's what it is. All right, ready to give it another shot? All right. Trying to get a little RPMs, a little rev out of it, you know? You want to call it quits, or you want to let it cool off again and try it one more time? I know pretty much the run issue is going to just be, you know, 2-year-old fuel, and the carbs need to be cleaned. I thought I saw spark plugs in it somewhere. Some old ones. Maybe we can swap some plugs. There we go. They may already be old. And the carbs are getting cleaned and all that. Let's see what these guys look like. We could try those. I'm going to throw those in real quick and give her... Alright, new plugs. it's actually kind of a normal sound as far as what I heard on the internet. So just let it run for about, we'll let it run for 30 seconds or another minute. Clearing up. Yeah, we're gonna call it at that. Good. Well, you know, at least it runs, not knocking anything like that. It's got water issues we have to go deal with, but again, for 400 bucks, the trailer's worth 253. And again, worst case, a parts machine. I'm sure the machine itself will sell more than 100 bucks. So we have nothing to lose. I don't know when I'm going to tear into it. I'm thinking next spring, because I'm not going to use this thing all winter, but who knows. I get in that mood sometimes just to want to go looking a little further before you know it, you're fully into it. We need to go remove this. What I've seen on the internet so far is there'll be like a plug underneath on the bottom side that gets a crack in it, and the crack, they fixed it on the manifold that was on there, and I think we could probably do the same if that's what's causing it. I also know there's that coupler, you see what those hose clamps are in the back, that is called a carbon bushing. I think that's what it's called. I'm not positive of that. And that is an area where water can come in too. But he said the water was warm. It was coming, you run it for a half hour, and the water would be warm, meaning that it came through the engine and was like, you know, heated water. When I grabbed the plate from him, when he grabbed the plate from me and I grabbed the Reggie, I'll ask him about this, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. They went to go take it apart and broke it off, and at that point kind of bailed on it. So we can fix that. All right, guys, I want to thank you for kind of hanging out and doing some wrenching with me. Had a little bit of fun, and I don't know, you want to call this a cold start? I guess, right? All right, guys, till the next one, I will see you later. Bye. And just to add, anybody who is familiar with these systems or owns them or wrenches on them commonly, feel free to give me any kind of heads up or tips that you want, and that would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to go on the internet and do some homework on it. Again, I've never owned one of these. I've ridden one a couple of times, and that's about the extent of it. So, I know the screen's going to go wonky on us, but that's the exhaust manifold. So this is the water jacket. We have one of these bolts broke, and that's why the water was going into the exhaust. This is the exhaust port. So water was filling right up, going right into the exhaust, and from the exhaust it was flowing right into the cylinder. So that's what was causing that. And no whining in the comments that I killed the starter. I didn't kill the starter. I let it cool off 5-10 minutes in between each kind of jaunt that we gave it to. So, yeah. No ride for you. No, you get nothing. Cheeseburger. You want to eat? You hungry? You hungry?